Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to coverage of Audubon Green Wave Baseball in the 49th Annual Joe Hartman Diamond Classic here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. In the play-in round, the Holy Cross Prep Lancers are here to face the Audubon Green Wave, who are coming off of their second straight win after beating Bordentown 13-3 on Monday and beating 2-1 Haddon Township in 9 full innings. That game was only 2 hours and 20 minutes and a full 9. Who needs a pitch clock? But seriously, a really close game yesterday in Haddon Township. If Audubon had lost that game, it would have been the first time in 11 years that Audubon lost to Haddon Township. They had been undefeated in the 2020s and even 10 years before that. But Haddon Township really used to be a great ball club back in the day. As my umbrella almost took my camera for a ride. We're having ourselves a windy day and a bit of a rain afternoon, but nothing too bad as the Holy Cross Prep Lancers with the starter Noah Troughton on the mound. He's going to be starting for the Lancers this afternoon.
Use the middle button and tilt it away.
Yeah, we're going to try to get the... Yeah, there we go. All right, much better. But regardless, let's go over starting lineups for today's Diamond Classic opener between the Holy Cross Prep Lancers and the Audubon Green Wave. Keep in mind, whoever wins today will face the Buna Chiefs on the road in Buna in the second round of the Diamond Classic, as they are the number 8 seed. The Holy Cross Prep Lancers are the number 24 seed, and Audubon is the number 9 seed of this year's Diamond Classic. For Dewey Oriente's Lancers, it's Michael Tompkinson in center field batting leadoff. Luke Rogers, the left fielder, batting second. Nate Robinson, the second baseman, batting third. Ricky Posniak, the first baseman, batting fourth. Liam Niesmeyer, the third baseman, batting fifth. Brody McLaughlin, the catcher, batting sixth. Matt Howell, the right fielder, batting seventh. Kevin Trout, the shortstop, batting eighth. And Anthony D'Ambrosio, the DH, batting ninth. Again, Noah Troughton is on the mound for Holy Cross. He is starting this afternoon on the hill. For Rich Horan's Audubon Green Wave, we have Tyler Wiltsey leading off and playing shortstop. Scott Lynch at first base, batting second. Ryan Zimmer behind the plate, batting third. Charlie Grady is the pitcher, batting fourth. Jack Dempsey is the second baseman, batting fifth. Trent Bannell is the right fielder, batting sixth. Bryce Dempsey is the center fielder, batting seventh, although Charlie Copsetta is going to get cleared soon from his strained quad injury, and he will play within the week. So here's the hoping for Charlie to come back strong in his junior campaign. In, as we said, center field is Bryce Dempsey, batting seventh. Nick Caladros is the third baseman, batting eighth, and Joey Slavin is the DH, batting ninth. Jason Stocklin is in left field, but he will not hit in the order. Audubon just finished their warm-ups, and Holy Cross is going to start theirs very shortly. So we've gone over starting lineups, we've gone over the stakes here in the 49th Annual Joe Hartman Diamond Classic. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. In the words of many in South Jersey, the Diamond Classic is the unofficial official South Jersey Championship, and we kick it off this afternoon with the number 9 seeded Audubon Green Wave versus the number 24 seeded Holy Cross Prep Lancers. Again, the Lancers and their coaches meeting with Rich Horan and the umpires at home plate. We're going to have ourselves a good one. It was raining for most of the day, and we had ourselves a bad blip right around 3 o'clock, but it seems like the rain is past, and now just empty clouds ahead really just loom over us here at the Hank Greenberg Field. If you're just joining us, welcome to coverage of Diamond Classic and Audubon Green Wave Baseball here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting with my graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my producer, Donna Wilkins, and myself, Dan Wilkins. We hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Whether you're inside or outside, anywhere in between, we have ourselves some great baseball. In between the BCSL conferences and the Colonial Conference as well. Holy Cross going into this game 5-5 has not played nearly as many games as the Green Wave have this year, but that's not to slight them for anything. They're 5-5 in 2023 under the leadership of Dewey Oriente. They started off the year with a win, a decisive win over STEM Civics, then 2 straight losses to Collingswood and Eastern, 2 straight wins versus Pemberton and Germantown Friends of Pennsylvania, and then they've swapped back and forth ever since. A loss to Palmyra, a win versus Doane Academy, which has been one of the better teams in the BCSL this year. A 12-2 loss to Woodstown, a win versus Westhampton Tech, and a 12-9 loss to Overbrook. After this, Holy Cross plays Pemberton tomorrow at 4:30, so they must have lights down there at the field, or it's just a late start. But still, captains, coaches, and umpires meeting at home plate, going over the ground rules, and we have ourselves a wonderful day of baseball. Don't forget, tomorrow the Green Wave face off against the Gateway Gators right here at the Hank Greenberg Field. Same time, same place at 3:45 right here at home, and it'll be right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Nothing that I know of on Friday except for the prom for Audubon juniors and seniors, and then on Saturday, Audubon will play no matter what, but the question is, depending on who wins today, the question is who they will play. If they lose this game, they would play Williamstown in a regularly scheduled matchup on 3 o'clock on Saturday, and if they win today, they face the number 8 seed Buna Chiefs in Buna on Saturday. That'll be a fun one, but we got to get through the fun of the first 7 innings of the 2023 Diamond Classic. Audubon meeting in their huddle, and so is Holy Cross down the third base line. They'll break very shortly as they get their final pep talks before the Green Wave take the field on this cloudy Wednesday afternoon. Again, Charlie Grady getting the start for the Green Wave. You can see him right there in the number 7 on the outside. He's going to be getting his first start in a while. I think the last time was PVI, but here we go. Green Wave take the field. Hell's Bells by AC/DC rings on in the background as the Green Wave look to ring in another win into the record books. 11-3 this year for the Green Wave after back-to-back wins versus Bordentown and Haddon Township, although yesterday's win was a tumultuous one. A 2-hour, 20-minute game for a full 9 innings, and that's where we stand after their last loss was Thursday versus St. Augustine in a 9-3 loss versus a team that just overpowered the Green Wave. But with 2 center fielders injured, still waiting on Charlie Copsetta to come back later this week, and also waiting on Zach Beebe to recover from his concussion, which will probably take about 2 weeks' time. Let's look at Charlie Grady, the Green Wave starter this afternoon. My goodness, what a season it's been for the senior. He has really ramped it up in the cleanup spot of the order, and we'll take a look at how he's been doing this year in our pregame here for the Green Wave this afternoon. We're just going to get started. I guess Grady's got his warm-up pitches. Grady this year, as a senior right-hander, has been hitting .390 at the plate, but has also had a 3.36 ERA at the mound. So the first batter for Holy Cross is going to be Michael Tompkinson, and the Diamond Classic is underway with a first pitch strike on the outside corner. It'll be Michael Tompkinson, Luke Rogers, and Nate Robinson, the first 3 for the Lancers for Holy Cross Prep. 1-1. The full lineup The full unabridged lineup for the Holy Cross Lancers is Michael Tompkinson, the center fielder. Luke Rogers is batting second in left field. Nate Robinson is the second baseman batting third. Ricky Pozniak is the first baseman batting fourth. Liam Niesmeyer is the third baseman batting fifth. Brody McLaughlin is the catcher batting sixth. Matt Howell is the right fielder batting seventh rather. Kevin Trout is the shortstop batting eighth, and Anthony D'Ambrosio is the DH batting ninth. Noah Troughton is the pitcher, but he is not in the order. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tompkinson as he looks to get a hot start for Holy Cross in this play-in round. 2-2 is a fly ball lofted out towards shallow left, and in to make the play is Jason Stucklin. There's one away. And this is going to bring up Luke Rogers. Back-to-back lefties for the Lancers to lead off the first as Charlie Grady quickly retires Thompson. First pitch misses, 1-0. Yeah, Grady this year, 8 1/3 innings, 3.36 ERA. This is his second start of the year after pitching 4 in the 3-2 win over Cinnaminson, which was the opening round of the Ralph Shaw tournament. Has to count as 1-1. He pitched 4 innings, and Tyler Wiltsey hit a go-ahead home run, which may as well have been a walk-off because of 2 batters later. Lightning came around, and the game would not resume. Audubon won that game 3-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rogers, the lefty. And he wavers at a breaking ball. Throw down to first base is in time with ease, and there's 2 down. And this is going to bring up Nate Robinson. So 2 down quickly for the Lancers in the top of the first, and Audubon looking to get a hot start here in the opening round of the Diamond Classic. There's a strike, 0-1. For Grady this year, his 7th appearance, he appeared in relief appearances of 1 inning or less versus Haddonfield, Paul Sixth, West Deptford, Collingswood, and Spotswood. 1-1. Downstairs, scrapes the dirt a little bit, and it's 2-1. After this, for Holy Cross would be Ricky Pozniak. And there's a strike at the knees, 2-2. Two. Misses downstairs, and the count runs full. First 3 for the Green Wave, Wiltsey, Lynch, and Zimmer, and that will be a free pass. Just a hair outside, and Robinson is going to get a free pass to set up number 29, Ricky Pozniak. Pozniak, the cleanup man at the dish for Holy Cross, as the Lancers have their first runner of the afternoon here in the top of the first. It's 0-1. Yeah, it looks like it was raining in the pregame. The ground's a little wet. The top of our tent is a little wet, but it seems like it is mostly passed. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. At first pitch, though, 48 degrees here in Audubon. Wind blowing to the west, which is blowing out to left field at 9 miles per hour. It'll only get up to 52 by the time the sun sets, and then it's going to be a 30% chance of rain tomorrow. 3-1 pitch is lofted, popped up out towards Wiltsey at short. He's going to backtrack, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Holy Cross gets a runner on, but nothing further. Green Wave get their first chance in the bottom of the first here in the play-in round of the 49th annual Joe Hartman Diamond Classic. We'll go to break, no score. Bottom of the first for the Audubon Green Wave, getting their first chance versus Noah Troughton, the 5'11" senior right-hander for the Lancers, who sports a 4.67 ERA this year in a total of 6 appearances. This is his 7th of his senior campaign, but Tyler Wiltsey will be the first to face Troughton here this afternoon, as the first 3 for the green and gold will be Wiltsey, Lynch, and Ryan Zimmer. As Wiltsey steps in, Green Wave looking for their first offensive opportunity today. First pitch, breaking ball, hit out to center field. It's got some carry to it, and it is over the head of the center fielder. This one's going to second base, and Wiltsey on the first pitch gets a double to straightaway center. I feel like that could have been played a little bit smoother, but I feel like if Audubon was at that ball, maybe that's an out. But in some places, I mean, that's a home run. In some places, that's not even close to a homer. And here in Audubon, it's right in the middle. But here is Scott Lynch. First pitch. Another breaking ball, and this time Lynch wavers at it. It's 0-1. I mean, really what opened my eye to how ballpark dimensions work in high school is seeing the variances of different high schools around the area when I did DWB feature games. Like that's a hit by pitch. That might be one of the least painful hit by pitches that I've seen in a while, but Lynch will trot down on the first base, and now Ryan Zimmer is up next with a runner on first and second for the Green Wave. So a double and a hit by pitch, and Audubon already in business with nobody out in the bottom of the first. Troughton squares up to Zimmer, and the first pitch. Breaking ball, there's a strike right down Broadway, and it's 0-1. Again, the full lineup for the Green Wave is Tyler Wiltsey at shortstop, Scott Lynch at first base batting second, Ryan Zimmer behind the plate batting third, Charlie Grady, he's on deck, and the pitcher batting cleanup. There's another strike, it's 0-2. Jack Dempsey is the second baseman batting fifth, Trent Bannell is the right fielder batting sixth, Bryce Dempsey is the center fielder batting seventh, Nick Caladros is the third baseman batting eighth, and Joey Slavin is the DH batting ninth. Tried to lean into it a little bit, and Ryan Zimmer just got called out on strikes. One away. I mean, who cares if he's a one-trick pony? He's really done himself a good job in that at-bat. 3 pitches, and all he needed was a curveball to get him out. One away. And here is Charlie Grady. Here is a pop-up into shallow center that's going to fall. Wiltsey holds at third, and the bases are going to be loaded on a bloop single by Charlie Grady. So Audubon letting the bats fly early as Jack Dempsey, who has been the king of clutch in the past 7 days, I got to tell you, the walk-off hit versus Timber Creek, the go-ahead sacrifice bunt versus Spotswood, the go-ahead sac fly yesterday versus Haddon Township. He has really been a crucial benefactor for this team in being able to deliver when it matters. There are some players whose sole aspect to their game is being able to hit when it matters. And Jack Dempsey, I'm not saying he's a bad hitter in the first inning compared to the 7th inning, but you've seen that he's got the passion in his eyes that he is able to compete at an elite level when it matters most. 2-0. There's a strike, 2-1. Honestly, Troughton's solution might just be to throw the ball right down the middle, because I don't think that Audubon's expecting that. I mean, it rung up Ryan Zimmer, but really all that Troughton's been able to do is throw curveballs left and right. There's a swing and a miss. Almost like Rich Hill a little bit. Maybe not with the same delivery, but I know Rich Hill threw like 3 or 4-fold more curveballs than fastballs in his career. Although he's still playing. I believe he's on the Pirates now. Fly ball to left. This is going to be taken in by Rogers. He's going to make the catch. Tagging from third is Wiltsey. He will come to the plate uncontested, and it's 1-0 Audubon. So Tyler Wiltsey gets the first run of the afternoon, and this brings up Trent Bannell. Dempsey's talking to him a little bit, maybe giving him a little advice. Pinch runner for Charlie Grady, considering that with 2 outs, he is the next man to throw, as Tommy Quinn is going to pinch run at first. Haven't seen a whole lot of him this year, but still good to see him getting reps.
Yeah, he's got some good speed.
He really does have some good speed. I mean, that's why he plays wide receiver for the football team and all that jazz, but it's 1-0 to Bantle. One. Scott Lynch on second base, Tommy Quinn on first as a pinch runner. Breaking ball misses, 2-1. And like I said about Dempsey, kind of delivering in clutch situations, what matters is that even though it's the first inning, he was able to provide that RBI with the runner in scoring position. So he really was able to be that benefactor, even if it's not the 7th inning. So, yeah, it's not a hit, but, if you are a baseball fan who only looks at hits, you really have to reevaluate your priorities. You got to look more at the sacrifice flies and the sacrifice bunts, because that's what matters in terms of getting runs home. One of the things that Audubon was not good at last year was bunting and defending the bunt. And you know what Woodstown did? They took perfect advantage of that, and they won the state title because of it. But the 3-2 pitch to Bantle is a swing and a ground ball out to third. Nice play across the diamond, and it is not in time. Bantle's going to get there safely. A beautiful play, though, at third to knock that one down is Liam Niesmeyer. And the bases are loaded again for Bryce Dempsey, the number 7 batter in the inning for the Green Wave. Here's a ground ball out to third, picked up by Niesmeyer. He tried to tag out Tommy Quinn, and the throw to first is going to work. And Green Wave strand the bases loaded, but they do plate a run on a sacrifice fly by Jack Dempsey. We go to the second, 1-0 Green Wave. Top of the second, Charlie Grady set down the Holy Cross Prep Lancers after 4, with a walk being the only base runner to reach for the Lancers. As the first pitch of the second is downstairs, 1-0. Each pitcher had similar counts in the first inning. Charlie Grady just threw his 22nd pitch. Meanwhile, Trouton of Holy Cross threw 20. In his inaugural inning of the game. The 1-1 pitch is right down Broadway on a fastball, 1-2. One-two is in the dirt, 2-2. Two. Did he go around? I guess he did, because he's going to be tagged out at the plate. Second strikeout in as many innings for Charlie Grady, and there's one away. So Niesmeyer retired. This brings up Brody McLaughlin. McLaughlin and then the right fielder Matt Howell due up for the Lancers, as there's a swing and a miss, 0-1. McLaughlin, the junior, stepping in here for the first time today, 5'11". 241 average in 2023, 7 for 29, all singles, and he is retired. Back-to-back Ks for Grady. And now here is Matt Howell. Going quick here for Audubon, I gotta say. The thing you want to do against a team like this is take care of business early. You want to seal all of the pockets that you can and, you know, really increase that margin of error. Not to say that you want to make errors, but you want to give yourself enough of a cushion as to if Audubon did make a slip up, then they'd be able to recover from that. And that's one of the things that was going on in the playoffs as well, is that Audubon jumped out to an early start, but couldn't hang on and couldn't keep the run production consistent so that it ended up hanging on for a full 7 innings. They just couldn't do that. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Matt Howell, the number 7 hitter for Holy Cross, and that one is away to the backstop. And it's 3-2. Audubon brought up 7 men to the plate in the bottom of the first, meaning that Nick Caladros will lead off. 240 average for Howell, 6 for 25, and a swing and a miss. Grady sets down the side in order. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Green Wave. Green Wave lead 1-0 after 4. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Paroli's Printing and Bantle's Banners, Signs, and Apparel.
Or no, it's in the second.
The true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. Over 50 years in business, handling any ink-on-paper project, as well as banners, signs, apparel, and promotional swag. I was going to say, it is the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you flashing too? Yeah. You're trying to get out of here before we're even done.
No, that was you, not me, man.
Did I say after 2?
You said after 4.
After 4 batters. That was earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. I was going to say, I'm sending you back to Algebra 1.
I think that adding and subtracting to 4 is a lot simpler than Algebra 1. That ball just landed in the seats.
Ooh. Hope everybody's all right.
Well, you could hear it hitting off of like a metal beam down there.
Yeah, hopefully that's not the sound of someone's head.
1-2 to Caladros, 8-9-1 due up for the Green Wave. And a fly ball hit to deep left. Going back on it is Rogers, and he will make the catch out and straightaway left for 1 away. This is going to bring up the lefty Joey Slavin. One out, Green Wave lead 1-0 over Holy Cross. Here in the opening round of the 2023 49th Annual Diamond Classic. There's a foul ball back to the screen. Yeah, in order for a ball to get into the grandstands with those high poles and beams back there, with how high that is, you have to hit it at the perfect angle for it to land in the seats. Really got to hit it right at the right time and angle. Another fly ball to left. Rogers is there again, and he's had 3 putouts this afternoon. Actually, 4 putouts in just 1 2/3 innings. So Trouton, after a rocky start, he left the bases loaded and allowing a run. He is now in a groove, but does the top of the order continue to do the heavy lifting? So Tyler Wiltsey is up now with 2 down. First pitch. I don't know how Tyler isn't like giddy to swing at that. He hits curveballs so well. Just lofting it out the center field. He's a guy that's got a swing that's adaptable for any kind of pitch. He can hit fastballs, he can hit curveballs, although that one's a pop-up. Back behind second, going over and making the catch while kind of falling backwards a little bit is Kevin Trout, and the side is retired. A quick second inning, we'll see if the momentum holds into the third, 1-0 Audubon. After 2, the Green Wave lead 1-0 over the Holy Cross Prep Lancers. This broadcast is brought to you in part by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today by calling Carmine Rampolla, as there's a line drive in the right field and a foul ball. Get a free quote today by calling Carmine Rampolla at 856-778-3900. Again, that's 856-778-3900. Getting into the thick of it here in Audubon. 2 innings down, 5 to go in regulation. Green Wave lead by 1. They scored 1 on a sacrifice fly by Jack Dempsey in the bottom of the first, but nothing more so far. 2-1 pitch is a strike on the inside corner to Kevin Trout, the number 8 hitter and the shortstop for the Lancers. 3-2, count is full. The freshman shortstop fouls one right back to the screen with a bang. 1 for 10 in his rookie campaign, but 5 walks and a stolen base to his record. Outside corner, make that 4 strikeouts in a row for Charlie Grady. He's got 5 in total on the leisure. And here is Anthony D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio takes outside, 1-0. The freshman, 2 for 7, 1 hit by pitch, 1 stolen base, 2 walks. And he takes in 2-0. Had both of his RBIs this year in a 9-2 win versus West Hampton Tech. But the Lancers are a young team. They've got a lot of freshmen, they've got a lot of sophomores and underclassmen on the roster. But they're able to produce. I mean, a 5-5 record is nothing to scoff at. And the wins that they had may not have been versus prevalent teams, but you take your victories where you can get them. The schedule of a high school baseball team is never an easy one. As the 2-2 pitch coming down to D'Ambrosio. Number 9 hitter for Holy Cross. He takes outside, and again, Charlie Grady's got a full count. This is the 4th time in 2 1/3 innings that he's had a full count today. And that is wow, that hit off of his bat as he tried to get out of the way. We saw yesterday Bryce Dempsey was going to get hit by a pitch, but the ball hit off of the knob of his bat. Well, that was a full-on, I ducked down, but the ball still hit my bat anyway. And make that 5 in a row. D'Ambrosio strikes out, and that's 5 strikeouts in a row for Charlie Grady. What a game it's been so far for the senior right-hander as he looks to set down another batter in a row. They're going to count that as a swing, it looks like. Yeah, he definitely went around. Broke the plane, as they say. It's 0-1. To Michael Tompkinson, who flew out to left his first time. There's a strike. 0-2. Holy Cross with 1 base runner through 2 2/3. They're looking to break through with their first hit, and there's a foul ball. Got a piece of it. After this would be the left fielder, Luke Rogers, who struck out his first time. Yeah, I mean, Holy Cross's wins this year are versus, none of them are versus public schools in Jersey. You've got STEM Civics. There's another foul tip. Trapped by Zimmer. Their wins this year are versus STEM Civics. No, I'm sorry, they did beat Pemberton. That is a public school. They beat Germantown Friends, Doane Academy, and West Hampton Tech. You know, all either parochial schools or tech schools or anything like that. But, oh, there's a line shot back up the middle going to Wiltsey. Picks it up, fires across the diamond, and it is in time. Great play and great awareness up the middle by Tyler Wiltsey to retire the side. No hits through 3 for Holy Cross. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 Audubon. Oh-1 count to Scott Lynch to lead off the bottom of the 3rd as he skies one in the center field. Going back on it and off the glove of the center fielder Tompkinson. Going into second base, and Scott Lynch has a double. Runner on second for the Green Wave, Scott Lynch, as Ryan Zimmer's up and a foul ball. 0-1. Charlie Grady, what a day it's been for him. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings, no hits allowed to Holy Cross. But the Green Wave in total have pushed across a handful of hits, 4 total today. Zimmer rockets one to short, and it's going to rocket in the center field. Picked up by Tompkinson, and holding it third is Lynch. So runners on first and third as Charlie Grady now coming up. Grady showing, but no, that's probably just a part of his routine then. Runner goes, Zimmer. Oh wow, they threw it over to third. I don't know why they would do that because the ball just got away. It went in the left field and Scott Lynch is going to score on the E2. See, Zimmer was breaking for second and he's actually going to get all the way to third. So he's the only runner that stands and it's a 1-0 count. That is really confusing. The runner breaks for second. The natural reaction is not to throw it to third. And they overthrew him, and that's a free run. Fly ball popped up, right center, shallow. And Tompkinson makes the catch. Zimmer tagged, but did not go. 1 out. It's just weird overall. But Audubon will get their second run of the game here in the bottom of the third, bringing up Jack Dempsey. One 0 to Dempsey. Right down Broadway, 1-1. Dempsey and then the sophomore Bannell due up for the Green Wave. Skied out towards center. Tompkinson makes the catch. This time Zimmer started to run again, but Tompkinson with a powerful arm in center field, and he records the second out of the bottom of the third. Couple of sprints coming down again. Two outs, and Ryan Zimmer has been looking to score for the past couple of batters, but there's a waiver and a miss by Bannell. 0-1. After this, if the inning continues, it would be Trent Bannell. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Holy Cross in the top of the fourth with Luke Rogers, Nate Robinson, and Ricky Posniak. And Bannell lines it right to short, and the inning is over. Couldn't have gotten a more unlucky hit, if I say so myself. Through 3, 2-0 Audubon. Top of the fourth inning here versus Holy Cross Prep as the first pitch is a swing and a miss to Rogers. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, who is the most recent Phillies pitcher to win the Cy Young Award? Is it Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, Aaron Nola, or Cole Hamels? We'll reveal the answer in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-1 count to Rogers. One-two count. And a pitch. Just missed. 2-2. worry about it. Grounder, foul. Grady's recorded a half dozen strikeouts, and this is going to be number 7 right here. Throw to first is in time. Rogers is retired. One of the funny thing is that I can say he's going to strike out right there, because even if he got to first base, it still would have been in the scorebook as a strikeout. But so this is how sometimes we've seen pitchers get 4 strikeout innings. It's a rare phenomenon in Major League Baseball, but pitchers can have 4 strikeout innings if or even more than that, if a batter strikes out and then they run to first base and they can't get the ball under control. But it's such a weird rule. But the 0-2 pitch to Nate Robinson. It's one of those weird phenomenons from the 1800s that has kind of mystified the game of baseball, and it's just one of those weird intricacies that has kind of stuck with the game over this amount of time. But it actually came from a German author and I guess a fitness enthusiast who came up with an idea for games to play in physical education class. And here's a ground ball out to first. That's going to be a fair ball, and Lynch tags the bag with ease. 2 down. So 3 unassisted, and there's 2 down for Ricky Pozniak. But yeah, there was this German guy about 100 years before the invention of formalized baseball as we know it in the 1850s. But he came up with this idea of games to play in gym class, and one of those games was Rounders, which was a combination of a game that had already existed in England, and it's kind of like a conglomerate of what we know of baseball and what we know of cricket, but you would actually use a flat bat to hit the ball, and there was really no formalized pitcher. It would be tossed up to you. So I guess that was a precursor to modern day slow pitch beer league softball. It's 2-1. It's Pozniak. There's a strike, 2-2. So he wrote this book about games to play in gym class, and one of the things that was different about this game of baseball is that if the batter on the 3rd strike missed, and the catcher didn't pick up the ball, he could run to first base. And that was a rule that has stuck since before the Declaration of Independence. There's a swing and a miss, and Pozniak's going to be out on a drop 3rd strike. Grady with 8 Ks through 4. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Audubon. Bottom of the 4th here at the Hank Greenberg Field. Audubon leads 2-0. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, who is the most recent Phillies pitcher to win the Cy Young Award? Is it A, Cliff Lee, B, Roy Halladay, C, Aaron Nola, or D, Cole Hamels? And what's your guess?
I think it's Roy Halladay.
Well, you would be correct. Let's reveal the answer, and it is Roy Halladay, who won it in 2010, as we'll go back to the game board with a 1-1 count to Bryce Dempsey. Yeah, Halladay won it in 2010, which I can't believe is 13 years ago. I mean, it almost feels like yesterday. He threw that perfect game on Memorial Day weekend in Miami, as here's a bunt down the third base line, and that is a fair ball. Dempsey gets to the bag with ease, and a bunt single to lead off the bottom of the fourth puts a runner on first for the Green Wave. How about it?
Oh, I finally got one of the questions right.
Yes, it took you a while, but you got it.
Every dog has their day.
Yes. So Dempsey with a bunt single, but yeah, that Memorial Day perfect game versus the Marlins was really one of the greatest baseball games that the Phillies have really ever had. And then that no-hitter versus the Reds, I think it was game one of the NLDS. It was either game one or game two. I'm pretty sure it was game one, though. And Roy Halladay, that drop third strike and the throw down. Speaking of a throw down, that one is going to be not in time at second base. So Dempsey with a stolen base. The wheels in full force this afternoon as Dempsey gets in scoring position with Nick Caladros at the dish, who flew out to left his first time. There's a ball upstairs, 2-0. It's just a shame that after Halladay won that Cy Young in 2010, only a couple of years later would he not only be out of the league, but then 7 years later he would have passed away in that plane crash. Really such a shame. I was so devastated when I heard of that news, and one of the Dempseys, they posted a picture of them and their travel team with Roy Halladay, which used to be a mentor for them. So really the passing of Halladay hit so close to home, even though he spent 80% of his career in Toronto. The 4 or 5 years that he spent as a Philly was some of the best baseball that he ever played. It was, you know, almost like a fine wine. He got better as he aged. But a foul ball makes it 3-2, full count to Caladros. Well, Caladros has been here the whole season. Charlie Copsetta is recovering from a strained quad, and it looks like he's probably going to be cleared this week to play. Remember, they play Gateway tomorrow, 3:45, and that's going to be a walk.
Got the names.
Yeah, Caladros will take first base, and this will bring up Joey Slavin, who flew out to left his first time. So a single and a walk to lead off the fourth, and the Green Wave looking to capitalize here versus Noah Troughton. Although there was one of those years that Aaron Nola probably should have won the Cy Young. I think 2018 or 2019, but then he lost out on it to Corbin Burns.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people thinking Nola should have won, but I know he didn't win one.
I included that in the trivia question because I think that would have tripped up some people.
You didn't get me today,
Did not get you today.
Not today, sir.
Well, because that question is more pertinent to Philly sports. Like, if there's a Holy Cross fan watching, when we do trivia time, I usually make the fan think, do a little bit of math. Like, there was one question which was, how many MLB stadiums have a seating capacity of over 50,000? There's a fly ball to left. Going over and making the catch is Rogers. Everybody holds up. That's one away. And that might have been yesterday's question, actually. I'm not sure, but... No, yesterday's question was, what was the year that the New York Yankees banned the facial hair as a part of a team tradition that's held ever since. But some of its history, some of its architecture, because I'm a huge stadium nerd, is, oh, here we go, fly ball, deep center field, going back. That's going to be over the head of Tompkinson, and that's going to bring home one on an RBI double by Tyler Wiltsey, and it's 3-0. So Wiltsey with 2 extra base hits on the day. And this is going to bring up Scott Lynch, who also has a double to his name. Seems like the consensus has been today to hit the ball out to center field, because it seems like Holy Cross has not formalized an answer for that yet, because all of the Green Wave's extra base hits have been out that way. Speaking of, fly ball right center field, hit well, and it's over the head of Tompkinson. Again, it's going to go to the wall. Coming home is Caladros. Rounding third is Wiltsey. He scores, and the Green Wave have lit themselves on fire in the fourth inning. It is 5-0 Green Wave. So runner on second following the Scott Lynch double. That's his second of the day. And this is going to bring up Ryan Zimmer, who's got a single of his own, as Noah Trouton starting to regress a little bit after having a scoreless second and only one run allowed in each the first and third. And here's a hot shot out to short, picked up, throw across the diamond by the freshman. Trout is in time, and there's 2 down. Seems like Audubon, despite the 5-run lead, has gotten themselves into a lot of unlucky hits today. But Scott Lynch did move to third on that play, on the 6-3 ground out. Strike one. Charlie Grady, 1 for 2, single in the first, pop out to center field in the third. A .390 average in his senior year as he grounds one out to short, sliding stop. No, got through in the left field. That will bring home Lynch, and it's now 6-0. So the Green Wave played 4 in the fourth, and that's going to make it a wide open ball game of 6-zip, and Grady's going to be pinch run 4 here at first. As Tommy Quinn is back over there. Bringing up Jack Dempsey. Strike one. We were talking about Jack Dempsey and being able to produce when it matters, but overall, as the junior infielder, he's really had a good season. .281 average, 9 for 32. Has to throw over to first, not in time. 11 walks, though. 11 walks. That has skyrocketed his on-base percentage into astronomical numbers, but really just being able to produce at that kind of level after not really having, I mean, he only had 14 at-bats in 2022, and now he has doubled that and then some in 2023, and I'm sure he's going to get even more as the opportunities increase as the starting second baseman next year. Throw down to second base and a stolen base for Tommy Quinn. The dugout claps him up, deservedly so, but here is the 1-1 to Dempsey. Lifted out to center field and taken in by Tompkinson to retire the side. We go to the top of the fifth. The Green Wave have busted this one open. It's 6-0. Six nothing Green Wave here in the top of the fifth inning. Green Wave scored 4 in the fourth. And by the way, this broadcast is brought to you by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. For anything you need done, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call. That one's right back to the mound, and there's one down. By the way, for Doug Does Anything, call 856-412-0118. Again, it's 856-412-0118.
I'd also like to mention for Doug Does Anything that they will come out and do an estimate, and it's pretty accurate. It's really good to know what you're getting into.
Right, and you know, this isn't some sort of big corporation, so he knows what he's doing, and he's not going to cheat you.
No.
Which is why he sponsors us.
And which is why we've gone back to him a couple times for work.
Yeah, for stuff in our shower, for that brick paneling in the kitchen.
For my parents used them too.
Yeah. It's always great to know somebody has your back. 1-2. A swing and a miss going down to first. Make that 9 strikeouts as Lynch is there to make the play. 2 down. 8 men came to the plate for the Green Wave in the bottom of the 4th. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Audubon in the bottom of the 5th. And what has been a game that started off slowly and has quickly ramped up in terms of offense here in the middle innings. 1-0. Grady came into this inning with 71 pitches, which is a bit of an anomaly for somebody that just had 4 innings under their belt, but you have to realize that he had 4 or 5 at-bats that went into a full count, and you know, that doesn't help your pitch count, especially if you're trying to make sure that your bullpen has a day off. So if you're going to be the kind of guy in this kind of situation that you know your team's playing a lot of games in a short amount of time. So what they need to do is make sure that their pitchers have enough rest. So what you do, you throw one guy out there, you throw him out for as long as you can, and it ends up, in this case, working. A weird bounce, but a ground ball to Dempsey. Picked up, throw to first, and Holy Cross goes down 1, 2, 3. Grady with another hitless inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 6-zip Green Wave. The skies have turned from gray to blue here this afternoon here at the Hank Greenberg Field in the bottom of the 5th. Green Wave leads 6-0 over the Holy Cross Prep Lancers as the first pitch to Trent Bannell, who's the only man who did not grab a bat in the 4th. He swings and misses at the first offering by Troughton, who is going to throw pitch number 60 right about now, as that's a cricket pitch. 1-1. 6, 7, and 8. Bantle, Bryce Dempsey, and Nick Calandros due up for the Green Wave, as they have broken this game wide open. And there's a beautiful pitch by Troughton. It's 1-2. Remember, folks, the Green Wave play Gateway tomorrow at home, 3:45, same time, same place. And on Saturday, Audubon will either play Williamstown or Buna, depending on if they win or lose this game. Ground ball to Trout, throw across the diamond, is not in time. He got pulled off the bag at first by Pozniak, and Bantle gets in there without a problem. So a runner on first and nobody out, as now it will be Bryce Dempsey. He's 1 for 2, grounded out and singled in his 2 at-bats so far. Going down to second base, trying to steal another bag, and Bantle is safe. Gets in there without a single problem, as it's 1-0 to Bryce Dempsey. And he fouled that one off the back of his shin. It's 1-1 to Dempsey. A total of 10 hits for the Green Wave, 6 runs all told, as the Green Wave break this game open in the middle innings. Ground ball out to short. Trout getting a lot of opportunities to throw across is high, but did he get it on the bag? No, he got pulled off as well. Pozniak getting pulled more than a piece of pork, as that's going to be the second time in this inning that Pozniak got pulled off the bag, and now there's going to be a meeting here between Dewey Oriente and his man. So runners are going to be on first and third. Bantle at the latter position, and Dempsey at first following the infield single. You can't really fault Trout for that. I thought that he had enough time to come down and make the play, but Pozniak's been getting pulled off the bag a lot in this inning. So Oriente breaks from his huddle, and we are going to not see a pitching change just yet. Noah Troughton's still in the game for Holy Cross. First time since I have the records in 2008, first time in the last 15 years that Audubon has played Holy Cross.
What town are they in?
They are in the Del Ran area. They're actually
okay.
not too far from Lucian's Manor, which is where Audubon's going for their senior prom,
Okay.
or junior and senior prom. So Dempsey gets down to second on defensive indifference.
Isn't that where you had a winter ball or something before?
No, the winter ball was at, it was in Deptford.
Okay.
Auletto's in Deptford, and that one's going to be a pop-up on the first pitch to Caladros. That will be the first out. So yeah, the winter ball is at Auletto's, and then the homecoming is actually at the high school itself, because it's a less formal event.
Yeah.
It's more of a casual
So you
thing.
haven't been to the place you're going for prom?
I have not been to Lucian's Manor yet. There was one time where we were supposed to do a softball game in Del Ran. I think you remember this.
Yeah.
It was me and Matt Wagner. We were going to produce that game. And it was 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, and it was during spring break, so we were like, well, what else are we going to do? But we're not only getting there, like, behind schedule, because this dude wouldn't get up, also, we showed up, and we got everything set up, and I went up to the coach, and I said, excuse me, can I have your lineup? You're coach blah, 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 right? And she says, no, I'm the JV coach. This is the JV field. And it's like a collective just, like, face palm of, like, we drove all the way out here to Del Ran for nothing. I mean, it really just...
Well, we learned our lesson from that. We always make sure we're at the right field.
Right. Like, well, I mean, for softball, because I was, not to say that I don't value softball as much as baseball, but to say that I was less prepared, and I had a 50-50 shot, and nobody had told me where the right field was, so... The right field was right down the street, but I did not want to pack it all down, and so I said, I apologize, and we'll try to reschedule, but we haven't done that yet.
It takes a little bit to get the equipment out and get it back, and
yeah, like it takes us like 15 minutes to set up, and then it takes us like even more to shut it down.
Yeah, because we have to put all the equipment away, and we try to keep it safe. Like yesterday, the team was already gone when we were still trying to pack up.
Yeah, they had already gone back to the buses and had left.
Good thing we don't go on the bus with them.
Oh my God, I would not want to go on the bus with those guys. Oh. I want to have to reapply my deodorant 10 times. The 3-2 to Slavin is another foul ball. Grady finished the fifth inning with 81 pitches, and if you remember on Monday, Nick Caladros had 102 versus Bordentown. So who knows? If Audubon's able to get a couple more runs across, then maybe they would go home early.
Do they have a...
Well, here's a ground ball out to second, picked up, throw to first. This time Pozniak does not get pulled off the bag, but instead a run will score. So scoring from third is Bantle, and it's 7 zilch Green Wave after the play by Nate Robinson.
So I was going to ask, do they have a pitch count limit like they did in Little League?
Yes, except it's a lot more. I believe 110 is the highest ceiling that a pitcher can go in one outing, and even then they would have to take 6 days of rest.
Okay.
As Wiltsey launches this one to left, going back, and it is off the DJK roofing sign. That one was mere feet away from his second homer of the year. With really no wind in play, it wouldn't have affected the ball as much, but that's going to be an RBI double to make it 8-0. So here is Scott Lynch. Two runs in the fifth for the Green Wave, in an 8-0 ball game. 1-0. See, this is the kind of baseball that Audubon plays. They don't pour it on all at once. They kind of spread it out pretty evenly through the innings. They scored 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. They've really been excellent this year at being able to score in the middle innings instead of, pouring everything on at first and then not having a backup plan for if, something were to happen in the middle innings. Lynch rockets one. That's a fair ball into the left field corner. Picked up, and scoring from second base is Wiltsey, and that's going to be an RBI single. 9-0. So the Green Wave are in Mercy Rule territory. I mean, this would be a really quick game if they can pull this off. How long has the broadcast been?
Oh, we're only live for 122.
Oh, wow.
Probably 10 of that was pregame.
Yeah, I mean, we did get live a little bit early, but wow, okay.
Well, let's see if they can put one more on.
And send us home early. Zimmer launches one to center field. And that one is caught to retire the side. We'll have to wait one more inning for that to aspire. So we go to the top of the sixth, 9-0 Audubon. Holy Cross back up here in the top of the sixth. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Jannar, Furness, Rodan, and Fields, independent consultant. Check out our Facebook page for more information, deals, and sales. Well, folks, there's a big goose egg on the scoreboard, and I think you know what I'm talking about here in the top of the sixth inning, as Holy Cross has gone down as a little looper to right, and that is a base hit. So Charlie Grady's no-hit bid is broken up on the first pitch of the sixth. I tried to avoid saying it. I tried to avoid it. I said a big goose egg. No. I did not say the words.
Folks, I'm just going to start hitting him when he says stuff like that.
But yeah, that's a shame. And it came off the bat of Kevin Trout too, the freshman. So some heavy lifting being done by the bottom of the order. So if anything, a one-hit shutout will suffice. But wow, yeah, that is a. It really only set in like the fourth inning that we were getting close to that kind of mark. And we saw last year the freshman Jason Stockland threw a no-hitter versus Washington Township, which, apologies to all Holy Cross fans, but I think that a no-hitter versus Washington Township kind of has a little bit more credibility to it, just because Washington Township was a Group 4 school, and even though they weren't a very...
more weight.
There was more weight to it. They had a deeper roster. And,
that was a fantastic.
I mean, Holy Cross only has 14 players on their roster.
Wow.
9 hitters and a couple of bench guys. Here's a throw down to second base. Beautiful play by Charlie Grady, and that is not going to be in time at first. So a 1-6-3 fielder's choice puts a runner on first with one away in the top of the sixth. And this brings us back to the top of the order for Michael Tompkinson. There's a ball, 1-0. I mean, personally, I am not a guy that believes in jinxes. I really don't believe it, because Charlie cannot hear me from out here unless I scream at the top of my lungs. But especially for the major league guys, they're up in a padded broadcast booth hundreds of feet away, and maybe a couple, dozen feet up from home plate. So I'm just like, Well, you can't hear anything.
Oh, I know, but it just happens. The skies aren't looking too good over there.
Yeah, that is a bit worrying. By the way, a hit by pitch for Tompkinson. Look at that. Wow.
I'm going to check the radar.
Yeah, that is something else. Wow, just a big cloud of gray encompassing this ballpark.
And that is why we put up the tent every game now.
Yes. 0-1 pitch. It seems like Audubon has had no luck with being able to stay out of the wet weather.
Feels like April showers here.
Yeah.
Somebody forgot to tell Mother Nature it's May.
Yeah, didn't flip her calendar. 1-2 count to Rogers with runners on first and second and one away.
There's a really bad cell right over Philly right now.
Well, that one got booted by Lynch, and he's going to tag the bag to save face and get the out, but both runners advance. Lynch had a bit of trouble there on a routine grounder. I think if you're Audubon, you might hope that you get one more run, because once again, let's just take one more look at those clouds. I mean, that is no laughing matter. Here's a ground ball out to short, picked up by Wiltsey. He'll throw it across, and it is in time to retire the side. So Charlie Grady allows his first hit of the afternoon, but still in good spirits as Holy Cross trails Audubon 9-zip going to the bottom of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth, Green Wave need one more to send us home an inning early as the Green Wave lead 9-0 over the Holy Cross Prep Lancers in the first round of the 2023 Diamond Classic. They would face Buna on Saturday if they win this afternoon. Charlie Grady, the first to hit, he takes outside, and it's 1-0. First three for Holy Cross in the top of the seventh, if we get there, would be 4, 5, and 6. Posniak, Niesmeyer, and McLaughlin. Grady takes a strike, 2-0, and 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Green Wave this time around with Grady, Dempsey, and Bannell. 2 balls, 1 strike to Grady. Hefty hack, but a swing and a miss. By the way, we have a Pearlie's printing pitching change. The new pitcher for the Lancers is number 14, Nate Robinson, as he'll try to save face a little bit and avoid a 6-inning mercy rule as the Green Wave lead by 9. The 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball that misses downstairs, and the count runs full. Grady, fly ball, deep center field, going back Tompkinson, and he is there to make the play, 1 down. This is going to bring up Dempsey. Dempsey is 0 for 3 on the scorecard, but did have a sacrifice fly in the first. He's hit the ball into the outfield all 3 times he has waltzed up to the plate. Foul ball, back to the screen. 0-1. Nate Robinson, the senior right-hander, 5.25 ERA in his Swan Song campaign, just in an inning and a third versus Overbrook in a 12-9 loss for the Lancers. The 0-1 pitch, right down Broadway, 0-2. Bannell on deck for Audubon. Upstairs, 1-2. One, two, that's upstairs, 2-2. Those clouds above us just...
It looks nasty.
It does, but you looked at the Weather Channel and it said that it was going over us.
It said it was, but...
It doesn't look like it, I'll tell you that.
Like it, yeah.
It's right above me. Here's a ball, 3-2. I mean, right now it's only 5:09.
Yeah.
Usually in the bottom of the 6th inning, we'd be like 6 o'clock by now, but we could get out of here super early.
That's why we need another tent for the camera.
Right. There's a foul ball out towards the right side, and it's out of play. Still a full count to Dempsey. And Dempsey's going to take his time and trot down to first base with a free pass. One away, and a runner on first for the Green Wave for Trent Bannell. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at my camera right now, and the lighting does not... It doesn't really show for how dark it is.
Yeah. Thankfully, the camera's better than our eyesight.
Yeah. I mean, the camera is kind of brightening it up a little bit, but like, it's about 20% darker in person than you're watching on the broadcast right now. That ball is outside. Going to second base is Dempsey. And it's a 2-0 count to the sophomore Bannell. After this would be the center fielder Bryce Dempsey. So Jack Dempsey gets to second uncontested on a stolen base. That one's downstairs, 3-0. If Audubon walks it off on a mercy rule, then Charlie Grady would finish the game with a 6-inning complete game of 95 pitches.
We've had some really good pitching lately.
Yeah, I mean, a shutout through 6 and only 1 hit allowed. I was really rooting for him to get a no-hitter because that would have been the first time since last year with Jason Stocklin. But the 3-1 down to Bannell. Getting a little bit chillier as those clouds take away our freedom of the sun, and stepping out is Bannell. And that is a walk. So Bannell walks, and this brings up Bryce Dempsey. You'd have to imagine in this situation where you're up by 9 and you just need 1 run to fall in order for you to win the game. You would have to imagine that, you know, the stakes are such where you want to take it easy, but with 1 out, even if Dempsey walks, the last possible batter this inning is Joey Slavin, or else the game would have to end. But the 1-0 pitch, Dempsey rockets this one in the right. This could do it. Picked up, and they're going to hold his brother Jack at third base, and Holy Cross stays alive for at least another batter for Nick Caladros. So there's no more room at the inn, and there might be no more room in this game as Nick Caladros looks for a chance to win it for the Green Wave. Only a handful of mercy rules they've had this year. I think the only one that they had was, well, actually, no, they had two. Paulsboro on opening day in a 10-0 game, and then a 20-1 win over Sterling that was a lot more convincing. But this one is probably going to take 6 innings to complete as the 0-1 to Caladros. Upstairs, 1-1. Jack Dempsey on third, Trent Bannell on second, Bryce Dempsey on first, and Nick Caladros with a 1-1 count. And he's going to line this one into right center field. That one is going to be caught. Dempsey's going to tag. Here comes the throw. It's going to be up the line, and the Green Wave are going to send this one home in 6 innings, 10-0 on a game-winning sacrifice fly off the bat of Nick Caladros. What a game this has been. A one-hit shutout from the senior right-hander Charlie Grady. He's known for his relief, but he provided relief all day long for Audubon as the clouds encompass the field. The Green Wave send Holy Cross home 1 inning early. 10-0 the final score. Audubon will play Buena on Saturday in the second round of the Diamond Classic, and they play Gateway at home this Thursday, as in tomorrow. Same time, same place. Stay tuned, everyone, for the DWB post-game show presented by Doug Does Anything, for the player that can do anything. We'll be right back after this quick break with our player of the game and our final send-offs before we wrap up tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our player of the game, presented by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman for the player that can do anything. Now, this is the second time I've interviewed you this year, but instead of saving the game versus PVI back in April, today you were here from the first pitch to the very last pitch. 95 pitch complete game. We got done in an hour and 30 minutes. I mean, really, they were out quick. And you were also out quick well, striking out 9 batters and only allowing 1 hit through 6 innings and a 10-0 win today versus Holy Cross. How did you feel on the mound today?
Felt great out there. Arm felt strong. Felt like I was throwing hard from the get-go. Team was behind me making plays. Great day overall.
And it was a great day for defense. No errors for Audubon. Really clean defense, as you were saying. But also for you, this is only the second start you've made this year. All of your other appearances were in relief, but your 4-inning appearance versus Cinnaminson, this is the most amount of pitches you've thrown all year. How do you feel being able to adapt from the role of being a reliever and a starter at the same time?
It can be tough, but you just got to get out there and throw strikes, let them hit it, have your team out there behind you making plays. Pitching's more of a mental game than anything. You just pound the strike zone, you'll do fine.
And I mean, it almost feels like a little bit out of place for you because you just mash fastballs day after day after day, and it's perfect for a closer, but they needed you today, especially considering that Audubon is playing 4 games this week and they're going to play Buna on Saturday in the second round of the Diamond Classic. That's going to be a tough one, but you gave the bullpen a day off, and again, 95 pitch complete game. Did you feel it all with the 1-hit shutout, getting the 1 hit for Holy Cross off of the freshman in the 6th inning? How did you feel going through the flow of the game? Because this was a really quick game and you work really fast, but how were you able to adapt through getting all those batters out in the first couple of innings?
I just like keep fast pace, keep the batters on their toes, keep them thinking. I'll switch my windup sometimes where I'll go to leg kick or I'll just go to stride. Just throwing the batter off, keeping it quick.
And that's what I noticed. Yeah, I did notice something with the windup where sometimes you're going in the leg kick, sometimes you're going in the stretch. And again, that's a trait that a lot of relievers have. So it almost feels out of place for you to be throwing these 6 innings and 95 pitches. But you did get into a lot of full counts. That 1 walk in the first inning and then 4 or 5 full counts, maybe even 6 or 7 throughout the entire course of the game. But 95 pitches through 6 innings. Did you feel at all that maybe you were having some issues with the command, or what was it that was causing all the full counts?
First inning definitely felt like I was my command was off a little bit, but definitely got to work on not getting that deep into counts. Really just pound the zone, getting batters out quick.
And the top of the order did a lot of the heavy lifting today. Tyler Wiltsey, 3 doubles. Scott Lynch also had 2 doubles and a 3-hit game overall. Reached base all 4 times. Even yourself, 2 singles and 2 pop-outs to center field, which were pretty deep. But one of the wind gusts came in and took away what would have been your first high school homer. But overall, team did great today. How did you feel you did at the plate?
I feel like we've been mashing right now. Seeing the ball well, hitting the ball well. If we just put the ball in play and avoid striking out, we're going to be a really tough team to handle.
And on Saturday, Audubon plays Buna in the second round of the Diamond Classic, as we said. After just missing Diamond last year due to some sort of play-in rules where Audubon, let's be honest, probably should have been in the Diamond Classic. And they should have been locked in this year, but because Heights was tied with Audubon for the division, they got the tiebreaker and we had to go in an at-large bid. This year, though, Audubon's back in the Diamond. What does this tournament mean to your team?
It means everything to us. This would be a huge win for Audubon. I don't even know the last time we won the Diamond Classic.
It's been a while.
We all won it, and we all know we can do it.
Well, that's great to hear, Charlie. We'll see you guys tomorrow versus Gateway, 3:45.
Awesome.
Go get your stuff and go avoid the rain.
Sir.
The final score today in 6 innings, Audubon beats Holy Cross and the Lancers 10-0, thanks to a 95-pitch complete game shutout with just 1 hit allowed by Charlie Grady. It's been a great one, and it's going to be an even greater one tomorrow when the Gateway Gators come to town to face the Green Wave. Right here, same time, same place, right on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. And again, folks, don't forget, Saturday will be versus Buna in the second round of the Diamond Classic. And we are in the works for getting a game on Sunday for a DWB feature, but I still have to talk to the respective coaches about that. So you just follow our Twitter page at DW Broadcasting for more updates about what we schedule and where you can find us on South Jersey baseball. But folks, from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, my graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my producer Donna Wilkins, and myself, Dan Wilkins, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow versus Gateway, Audubon, Mercy Rules, Holy Cross, 10-0. We'll see you guys.